Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again. Today, an update from the Ukraine front, and not only. First things first. Remember the Russian drone incursion violation of Polish airspace about a week ago or so? 19 drones, and the Polish Air Force did not do anything, but it was the Dutch Air Force with their F-35s shooting down some Russian drones. Remember? Well, they shot some Polish households in the meantime. So while these F-35s were shooting the Russian drones, they destroyed Polish houses, or house, at least one that I know of. And it wasn't the Polish air defenses, the airplanes, F-16s. No, it was the Dutch F-35s. So, what is that? Friendly fire or how to call it, unprofessionalism? Both, I guess. All right, that's the first topic. The second topic, a massive blast rocks town in southwest England. And it's a big explosion. I will correlate that with the new drones appearing on the Danish skies around military facilities, military bases, that is. And the Danish defense minister claims that's a hybrid war. So, now that's a reaction to your garbage action. What happened with the Nord Stream pipeline, baby doll? Now the Russians are taking you to task in the doggy style. All right, that's the second topic. The third one, the Russian forces completing the liberation of Kirovsk settlement in Donbass. But that's not why I picked that article. In that article, if you read, and I will read it for you, clippy, clappa, clappa, it says that the Russians destroyed another Patriot system launcher. That's about almost $1 billion. Were there Americans operating it? We're going to talk about that one. Remember, another Patriot system. Next, the Russians advance in 2 oblasts covering taking control of 7.8 square kilometers. So 2 oblasts. I will show you the maps. Then the Russians attack Ukraine with 176 drones plus missiles overnight from the 24th to 25th of September 2025. Where are you going, baby? Don't stay here with me. So I have 2 articles on that one. And then eventually we end with a hybrid war. The drones spotted near Danish military sites overnight, and the Danish defense minister says repeated appearance of drones over country is hybrid war. Who's waging a hybrid war against you, baby doll? Oh, the Americans or the Ruskies? And why would the Ruskies do it? Oh, because you stuck your dirty tail into the Ukraine war without being asked. All right, you were ordered. So let's start with the first article and the first topic. So this is from the 17th of September. This is how it was reported then. Polish missile caused Russian drone attack damage. Media. A 3-meter-long projectile fired from an F-16 hit a residence. Rescom has reported. The only confirmed damage from what Poland claimed was a Russian drone incursion into its airspace was actually caused by a Polish missile fired from a NATO F-16, which struck a residential building. The Rzeczpospolita outlet has reported, citing sources. Good? Alright, that's the first one. And remember, this was on the 17th of September. Now we jump to today, the 25th of September, according to the same liars, if you want. NATO warplane struck Polish home during quote-unquote Russian drones incident. Media. The air-to-air missile was fired by a Dutch F-35 fighter jet and not, as had previously been claimed, by a Polish F-16. Onet has claimed. So by this one, not by this one. Well, it doesn't matter. The damage is what matters. And the person who was so good to not even look at the line of sight, line of shooting, You know, wherever you shoot at something, you would look what's behind that. Well, if these guys are two scaredy cats, their horizon is, I'm going to hit this little drone flying with about 50 kilometers per hour, and I'm with a fighter jet that flies, I don't know, 2,000 kilometers per hour. And I'm going to hit it. They hit it probably like that, and they didn't look, or whatever happened. Remember, these guys used missiles cost more than $500,000. $500,000 to hit a, I don't know, $5,000 drone. Who's paying for that? We pay. All right, that's according to the media. And we have a picture of that damage right here. Not a big deal, but still. Here it is. It says here, several Russian drones, at least one Russian drone damaged home in the village. So this is the one that was said it was done by the drones. But they also said the missile did not explode, did not detonate. All right, let's see. This is unfinished house anyway. I know very well that kind of constructions. All right, let's see what is going on here. A 3-meter long hit by a rural home in Poland while NATO jets were responding to an alleged because the Russians say it was not us, drone incursion was fired by a Dutch and not Polish fighter jet. The Onet news outlet reported Wednesday, citing insider source. And Warsaw responded and scrambled incident. One of the were taking part. Response launched and aimed on 120 AMRAAM missile, which failed to properly fire and landed on a modest country home near Poland's Lubin voivodeship, according to Onet. So it didn't even explode, man. It didn't even, which failed to properly fire. So that means it didn't explode either, but it was like, psst, like you were a baby doll, I'm gonna do it right now. And you like bang, and then when you're about to, what happened? I don't know. So the same here, I don't know. It missed fire, man. This is NATO for you. In a war, weapons are meant to be, the most important things are to be able to be reliable, to fire. That's the whole thing. First you have to have them, and then they have to fire, they have to perform. Okay, it's not like you have them and you look at them, that plane looks good, flies excellent, blah, blah. Flies to do what? To release a missile, right? If you release the missile and missile take a shit, it's useless to have all that F-35s and all those missiles and blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing with the story in the Vietnam War with the AK-47s versus the M16 or whatever the Americans had. Even some American platoons operated with the AK-47s in the environment in Vietnam. Why? Reliability. That's why F-16s in Ukraine, if the wind blows, if it's a little bit drizzle, or it's a smoke in the air, you can't fly them. No. It has to be perfect sunshine, 70 degrees outside, the wind doesn't blow and shit like that. Well, this should be heavy duty and should do the job they are intended to. All right. What happened in England? Many things happen in England. Among them is this. Massive blast rocks town in southwest England. Fire crews have been battling a blaze that followed the explosion of Swindon, where a major drone factory is planned. But they say, we don't know if it's the drone. Now this is the little fire, pants on fire, I a liar. An explosion at an industrial estate in southwestern England has triggered a major emergency response overnight with multiple fire crews battling a large blaze. Why do these guys say it? They say because of this. Danish defense minister says repeated appearance of drones over country is hybrid attack. So the Russians do not say what happened. The English police again says the incident is serious, with a large carbon in place. Local residents were asked to remain indoors and close windows do. Could it be Russians striking back after so many years of being struck by these guys in a hybrid war by whomever these guys employed, in this case Ukraine? Yeah, I think it's very possible. Is it because these guys might have blown up the Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 gas pipelines underneath the Baltic Sea? Yeah, could that be? And now all these guys are, oy vey, what are we doing? These guys are hitting us back. I said, and if it's not these guys, it's something else. And these are bad actors who are settling scores. You know, this for hire I'm talking about. So whatever it was, it's going to be more. The same in Denmark, the same in other countries in the West that thought that they are only able to jab and the other guy cannot come because it has an uppercut. Uppercut is shorter, jab is longer. I will keep you far away like the Klitschko's kept most of their fighters. All right, and this is very important here. According to the Russians, they destroyed another Patriot system launcher and radar and everything that was in the area. So, according to Sputnik, and this is an article from 2 hours ago, today on the 25th of September, Russian forces completing liberation of Kirovsk settlement in Donbass. I was like, okay, I don't really care what's going on over here. Look. Is this what you liberate? Is this what's going on here? Horrible. And they say that they liberation of Kirovsk settlement in DPR and conducting a city cleanup. You know what city cleanup is, right? And they say the battle group eliminated over 530 Ukrainian military personnel over the past day. Trapalaka Makatsaka. Okay, that's not what we care. This is what we care for. 2 Yak-52 aircraft and 10 A-22 unmanned aerial vehicles of the Ukrainian Air Forces were destroyed at a airfield. As a result of the strike on a Patriot anti-aircraft missile system, the enemy lost the launcher, combat control cabin, and N/MPQ-65 radar of a US-made Patriot anti-aircraft missile system. The statement read, this is what they say. Okay, so Patriot anti-aircraft missile system down, destroyed. So, is it true? I saw last night, a video. I can't say the video, it was just a picture. I don't know if the picture was accurate in a way that, I can take a picture of something, let's say a Mercedes-Benz, and I say a Mercedes-Benz was hit by the Russians, but that Mercedes-Benz featured in the picture is not that Mercedes-Benz that was blown up. You know what I mean? Just for visual effects. So it was an explosion of something that looked like an air defense system. I couldn't identify if that was a Patriot or not. I didn't go into that video because I didn't know if it was a video was a picture. So I said, nevertheless, and that's when I read this article today. It was like, well, maybe those guys had a point, but that's according to the Russians. The other ones will say, what are you talking about? These guys are invisible, man. Like J.D. Wells, is it J. whatever Wells, the Invisible Man? I read that when I was, I don't know, like, Jesus Christ, 12 or something. Is that, no, J.D. Now J.D. because of J.D. Vance, but Wells, what's his name? Do you remember? The Invisible Man? G.G. All right, let's go to the next one. This, according to the Ukrainians again, Ukrainska Pravda, Russian forces advance in 2 oblasts, expanding control by 7.8 square kilometers. And this is the same area that I mentioned yesterday. Is it the intersection between 3 oblasts right here? Luhansk, I'm talking shit now. This is, I think that's what it is. Is Luhansk, and then you got Donetsk, and you got the Dnipropetrovsk. Here it is, the intersection, right here. I'm going to show you on the map. This is Dnipropetrovsk, Luhansk, Donetsk. So this is where the Russians are advancing, according to the Deep State. Deep State, again, is a Ukrainian analyst, so it's Ukrainians. So where is that located? I'm going to show you on the map. This is the map of Ukrainska Pravda. All right, and we have it right here. And here is Kirovsk, the one that these guys were talking about, that these guys liberated in Vobizdu. The beast here. All right. Kirovsk, and then we go right there, Kirovsk. So this is the intersection of the 3 oblasts, 1, 2, 3. Okay, right there. So the Russians are advancing in that area. Kirovsk is right here. And I think something is not kosher here. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, all right. So let's go back. So here is where they said these guys are advancing. I can go to the deep state, but they want something I'm not going to give them, obviously. And we have the same thing these guys showed in here. This is the area where the 3 oblasts, this is a little bit right here, meet. So the Russians are really advancing in Dnipropetrovsk and so on. So even though this is not, yeah, it is right here. This is Lugansk right here. All right, let's go to the next one and see what else these guys are giving us. Russian forces have advanced in the Serebryanka forest in Luhansk Oblast near the village of Dronivka in Donetsk Oblast and the village of Berezovye in Dnipropetrovsk Oblast. So these are in this area where the intersection of the 3 oblasts occurs right here. Next. Russia attacks Ukraine with 176 drones. Hits recorded in 8 locations. Muscle man. Okay, let's go. Let's see what time. All right. Russian forces have been attacking Ukraine with 176 Shahed and Gerbera loitering munitions as well as drones of other types since the evening of the 24th of September. Ukrainian air defense units have destroyed 150 out of 176, while 13 have reached their targets. About 100 of the 176 drones were Shaheds. All right, 8 locations. And let's see if these guys are telling us. They don't tell us where they launched them from. It's okay. We got another article to snoop and see what's going on there. All right, this is where the drones were launched from. Kursk, Orel, Milerovo, Primorsko-Akhtarsk, and Shauda. So the usual suspects launched their drones from Bryansk, Oriol, Kursk. I think it was Shatalovo, Milerovo right here. Was it Milerovo? I don't think it was Milerovo. Was it? Oh, no, Milerovo. It was not Shatalovo. Shatalovo and Bryansk were not. Okay, back off. So it was not Bryansk. It was Oriol, Kursk. Then it was Milerovo right here. Then it was Primorsko-Akhtarsk right here. All right. And then it was Cape Shauda and the Crimean Peninsula exactly here. This is Cape Shauda, Pakatsaka Makalaka, by the Kerch Bridge. That I don't hear any more stories about we're gonna destroy that. So remember, south and then southeast, then east and northeast and kind of north. All right, what else? Let's see what these guys are saying. They said 8 locations. Did they tell us the oblast? They don't. Hitting 8 locations. Okay, and let's go to the Danes who get pans. All right, New Voice of Ukraine, 25th of September. Drones spotted near Danish military sites, plural, overnight. I wonder why. Well, let's keep you a little bit on your freaking toes, you baboons. Where is Denmark? Let me show you. Let's start with that one. Now this one, this is Kirovsk, which was not. So, there you Europa. All right, let's get rid of these guys right here. Clips. Boom. All right, so this is Europa. Denmark is right here. By the Baltic Sea, North Sea, which is the Atlantic Sea over here a little bit. So North Sea, Atlantic Sea, the Baltic Sea. So this is Denmark right here. So the pipelines, Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 pipelines were struck right here. Right? In Copenhagen, right there, in this area. So when these guys, the Danes, they investigated, they said, well, hot potato dropped it into the Germans. The same with the Swedes. They investigated shit, they dropped it onto the Germans, and it all died. And they are telling us that supposedly it was the Ukrainians, 6+1 doing shit. So these are where the drones were identified. Let's see what exactly they flew over. Several drones, military facilities, were seen near airports in South Jutland. Police stressed that there was no immediate danger to civilians or airport staff, and air traffic in Jutland resumed normally by morning. Jutland, I don't know where it is, my friends, but let's see if we find it just like in a very small. I said, Jutland. Okay, where are you, Jutland? Jutland. I don't wanna. Okay, Jesus Christ, you make me do that. Where is Jutland? What is Jutland? Okay. Bring your daughter to the slaughter. What the hell? So this is the Jutland. Okay, we got it. Sorry, I didn't know. That's an area. Anyway, this is the Jutland land. Okay, Jutland, the Jews land. They want that too. Jutland. Okay, near Alaborg Airport. Should we see that one? All right, let's see that one. What the hell? If we're here, why not? Where are you? Here. Clip. Jutland. You go to Mommy. Denmark. Uber. Right there. So this is where the drones flew about. I'm trying to see if I see an airfield or anything adjacent to it. I see right here, maybe. No, that's something else. No, what is that? No, that's a little fucker. All right. Anyway, this is the area. Was it airport? Okay, which also an Air Force base. The drones appear close to facilities where Denmark's C-130 Hercules American airplanes, transport planes, and CL-CO-4 Challenger business jets are stationed. The Elite Special Forces Unit, oh my god, let's try this one. Jaguar Corps set. All right, Hunter Corps is also based there. And then these guys are cry over this. Ukrainska Pravda, Danish defense minister says repeated appearance of drones over country is hybrid attack. Yes, and this is the guy. Look at this guy. He's the guy, he's the defense minister, isn't he? Yeah, this is the defense, this is the war. This is how a Danish warlord looks like. Yeah. Click, 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 cluck, cluck, cluck. Jesus Christ. And what he has on his chest, guess what? Punk. Because you know Ukraine and Denmark. Now you know why you know why you got the hybrid war now? Do you know why? You see that little flag? It doesn't seem to me like the Denmark's. Anyway, so there you go, my friends. It's a repeated drone attack hybrid war. By whom? The Danish government considers the repeated appearance of unidentified drones over the country, including near military sites, to be a hybrid attack. Correct. Danish Defense Minister Troels Lund Poulsen at an urgent briefing. He told you it's a hybrid war. Yes, it is. Get used to that. Get the fuck out of Ukraine. All right, my friends, here it is. Thank you very much for being with me again today. These guys think that their actions will not have consequences. In this case, negative consequences. And I stated the Russians will do that when they consider advantageous to do it. And not only that, it could be false flag operations, could be the Americans, could be the Brits trying to stage something to get something in something they want to be dragged into. Could be, as I said, bad actors, organized criminal gangs. Could be that. But in the military airfields, there could be other actors. I don't know. Could be, the Israelis probably. Who knows? We're going to find out that what we know. There are some drones creating panic in that warlord. Jesus Christ. Imagine you meet that on the tatami. You say, motherfucker, go home to mommy and, eat some candies. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.